Mike Dell's World, number 233 for November 20th, 2015. And today, since I mentioned the city of Cadillac yesterday in the episode on 232, I did some research. Okay, admittedly, I read Wikipedia, but there's some interesting stuff in there, and I have verified that some of the stuff in there is indeed true. So I'm going to tell you about the city of Cadillac. First off, the city of Cadillac is the county seat of Wexford County, Michigan. It has a population of 10,355 as of the 2010 census. I think it's probably gone up since then. But I was in the ballpark. I said 15,000, and it's actually 10,355. Like I said, probably gone up since then. The city is situated at the junction of US 131, Michigan Highway 55, which is one of the main east-west routes that go from Tawas City over to Manistee, Michigan. Tawas City being on the Lake Huron shoreline and Manistee being on the Lake Michigan shoreline. I travel that route, not to Manistee. I go from Tawas to West Branch, and then I take I-75 north to Grayling, but I do that on my medical route that I do every other Sunday. So I'm very familiar with M55. Of course, US 131 goes from Petoskey to, I think it ends in Kalamazoo, but it might keep going. I don't remember. But I always take that one from a town called Manton, Michigan. That's where we catch the freeway at 131 all the way down to Grand Rapids, where I turn off on I-96 and go over to my in-laws in Grand Haven, Michigan, which is on the shoreline 150 miles south of here. Anyway, I digress. Cadillac became the county seat after the so-called Battle of Manton. And I was talking about the town of Manton, but let's see. The Wexford County seat of government, originally located in Sherman, was moved to Manton in 1881 as a result of a compromise between feuding residents of Cadillac and Sherman. Cadillac partisans, however, won the county seat by a county-wide vote in April of 1882. The day following the election, the sheriff's posse left the city of Manton by special train to seize the county records after arriving and collecting a portion of the materials. However, an angry crowd confronted the Cadillac men and drove them from town. When the sheriff returned to Cadillac, a force consisting of several hundred armed men were assembled, and the group reportedly included a brass band. The sheriff's force, some of whom may have been intoxicated, traveled back to Manton to seize the remaining records. Although Manton residents confronted the Cadillac men, barricaded the courthouse, the posse successfully seized the documents and, in dubious glory, returned to Cadillac. So, anyway, Cadillac was incorporated as a village, as the village of Clam Lake. Let's see, in 1871, I think. Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, 1871, Cadillac's first sawmill began operations, originally called the Pioneer Mill. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway. Cadillac was originally named Clam Lake and was incorporated as a village, in 1874. George Mitchell, who the state park in Cadillac is named after, but George Mitchell was elected the first mayor. The village was incorporated as a city in 1877 and renamed Cadillac after, and I'm going to totally butcher this name, but Anton Lamet de la Monte Sur de Cadillac. That's a really long name. Anyway, he was a Frenchman who made the first permanent settlement in Detroit in 1701. So a guy named Cadillac founded the city of Detroit, and then a city in northern Michigan named it after him, named their city after him. Whatever. But Cadillac's kind of an interesting place. Cadillac's only like 8 miles from what we call the geographic center of Michigan, or not what, if you look at the state of Michigan, you'll see that it's kind of spread out, and with all the lakes and peninsulas and things, trying to find the center of it would be kind of hard. But the geographic center is actually 8 miles northeast of Cadillac, near a town called Harrietta, if I remember correctly. Excuse me. And Harrietta is famous amongst us geeks as being the town where the local NBC station has their 1,100-foot tower. Back in the old analog days, that's where we would get our NBC television. But now that the digital changeover has happened, they don't transmit very high power from Harrietta, so it's generally people right around there that get it there, and we get our NBC from Kalkaska, or the cable company. But let's see, what else is interesting about Cadillac? Got a lot of state landmark markers. Climate is roughly the same as here in Traverse City, and we talked about the weather a few episodes ago. And they tend to be just a little bit colder and actually get just a little bit more snow than we do, just because they're at the right distance from the lake. We're right up on the lake. They're the right distance from the lake. Depending on the wind direction, they'll get lake effect snow. And let's see. Yeah, just looking at a few other things. Cadillac is famous for a boat factory there, Four Winds. So all the Four Winds boats you see, if you're into boating, come from Cadillac. Also, the Shea locomotive. In 1878, Ephraim Shea perfected his Shea locomotive, which was particularly effective in its ability to climb steep grades, maneuver sharp turns, and manage imperfections in railroad tracks. And the Shea is a very famous locomotive, and that was all developed in Cadillac, Michigan. Also was the home of the the Michigan Iron Works Company, which manufactured the Shea locomotive for a short time in the early 1880s. Let's see. The U.S. Forest Service and the Civilian Conservation Corps created the Cabernet ski area, which led to promotion of the area as a tourist center. Cabernet remains in operation today, the oldest ski resort in the Midwest. And it's not super tall, but it's a ski hill. I don't think I've ever skied there. We've got ski hills around here, and it's probably good. The North American Snowmobile Festival is held on frozen Lake Cadillac every winter. Here's an interesting one, and I remember this gas station in Sam the Bear. But Thirsty's, a gas station on M55 just a little bit west of Cadillac, was the home of Samantha, or Sam the Bear, from the 1970s through the late 90s, when Sam died of old age. I don't know about that, neither did Wikipedia, but Sam was the only brown bear in captivity in the U.S. at the time that would hibernate naturally. Sam lived in a large cage in front of the gas station and was fed ice cream cones by tourists every summer. And one more very interesting thing, and they just celebrated the 40th anniversary of this. In 1975, the rock group Kiss visited Cadillac and performed at the Cadillac High School Gymnasium. They played the concert in honor of the Cadillac High School football team. In previous years, the team had compiled a record of 16 consecutive victories, but in 74, the squad opened the season with 2 losses, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Kiss was invited to the homecoming game, and they showed up. And there's actually a historical marker now in Cadillac at the high school, at the stadium where they played that football game, commemorating the time that Kiss came to the homecoming in Cadillac 40 years ago. An interesting side note, Kiss also came to Traverse City somewhere around that time, and at that time we had a place called Glacier Arena, which was a indoor hockey rink. And anyway, Kiss got set up over there, and they turned on all their stuff and promptly blew the power out of the building. So the building wasn't capable of powering the Kiss concert. And after several failed attempts to get enough power there to have the concert, they ended up canceling the concert. But they did successfully play in Cadillac. So if you're interested in ever showing up in Cadillac, it's not hard to get there. You just go up 131 from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Cadillac is where the freeway turns and close to where the freeway ends. The freeway ends actually in Manton, Michigan, where they used to be the county seat. It turns into a 2-lane, and it goes the rest of the way up to Petoskey as a 2-lane. But Cadillac is centrally located in the whole mass of Michigan, but it's in the northern west chunk of lower Michigan. Like I said, it's about 45 miles south of where I am on East Grand Traverse Bay in Traverse City. So anyway, there's a whole lot more to read here on the Wikipedia, and no, I usually don't read off of Wikipedia, but, after yesterday mentioning Cadillac and realizing I don't know a whole lot about it other than I drive through it a lot, that it would be good to read up on it. So your mileage may vary, but so far on the stuff that I look up, Wikipedia is fairly accurate. So with that, we'll call it an episode, and we'll catch you tomorrow. This is Mike Dell, and this has been Mike Dell's World number 233. Enjoy.